Hello, Rama Rama Pupodu. Hope all are in good health, feeling great, wonderful, having a peaceful life. Now let's go to chapter 29. Vashistashram, the cup of milk. Ramdas has no plans, he replied. He does not know how long Ram wishes him to stop here. All depends upon him. As regards food, Ramdas is averse to taking solid food at any place where he wants to devote all his time to God in wakefulness and meditation. Since God has granted him the staying power even on water for some days, he would prefer not to climb the hills in search of food. The sadhu was roused by this reply. Intently gazing on Ramdas, he said derisively, "Enough of your gab. I have known many sadhus of your type who speak glibly of water fast, but could not maintain it for a single day. None of your bragging to me." Ramdas could clearly see that Ram was at his old game again. "Well, you say," he went on, "you would not take solid food. That means you are for liquids, eh?" "Quite so. Water only or milk, if Ram provides," quietly rejoined Ramdas. The sadhu burst out, "Ah, there you are. Now the cat is out of the bag." Now bending himself towards Ramdas and pointing his long forefinger at him with looks full of contempt and words tinged with sarcasm, he spoke. "Have you come here to share a part of my daily drink of milk and starve me to death? Is that what you mean?" "Ram, what a consummate actor you are! As is the master, so is the servant." Ramdas, who learnt all this art at your feet, can meet you on your own ground. The play was now assuming a beautiful turn. Ramdas coolly replied, "Ramji, it is far from Ramdas' wish to have any share of your milk. If Ram, who is all love, provides, he would have milk, but if he chooses not to, he will be content with mere water which can be had in plenty from Mother Ganga." We shall see," he interrupted. "Now for the night, which is fast approaching, I shall show you two caves. Come out." And he arose and went out. "You may occupy any one of them." He took Ramdas out into the open and pointed out two small caves, one to the left and other to the right of the big cave in which he lived. Ramdas selected the one to the left. It was just sufficient for one to stay in, and moreover, the floor was covered by a layer of hay. When Ramdas got in, he found the cold within was severe, as though all the cold from outside had found its hiding place within the cave at the approach of night. "You may occupy it afterwards. Come with me to my cave. There is still light. We can sit together for a while," he said, and Ramdas accordingly followed him to his cave. From one of his tins, the sadhu took out some lumps of sugar and, dissolving them in a brass cup of water, offered the syrup to Ramdas. Ramdas drank the sweetened water. Then he prepared a chillum of tobacco and ascertained if Ramdas smoked. Ramdas said that he had no objection to smoking when Ram supplied. "You are a wonderful fellow," he exclaimed. "You are used to smoke. Still, you don't carry any smoke with you." Ramdas explained that he was a slave only of Ram and not of any habit. Then he drew in a few puffs at the chillum. It was now getting quite dark. The sadhu had lit a small earthen lamp poised on a wooden stand. Ramdas now stood up and walked out of the cave to proceed to the small cave he had decided upon occupying, when the sadhu stopped him, saying, "Tonight you may stay with me. From tomorrow you can live in the other cave." Ram was kind indeed. Ramdas had really a great desire to remain at least for a night in the big cave, which is the famous Vashishta cave. He returned and took his seat again by the side of the sadhu. Thereafter there was no talk. He sat up for about 2 hours in silence, and then, taking the sadhu's permission, laid himself down. All the night he was half awake. The sadhu also never slept. He reclined against a cushion, and at short intervals he was busy smoking his hookah, and was also now and again throwing a lump of sugar into his mouth. The night passed. At daybreak, Ramdas rose and sat up, but he felt no inducement to move. After some time, the sadhu suddenly flashed up and said in a harsh voice, "Get out! What are you doing here? Go to your cave. I wish to go into samadhi." Ramdas quietly slipped out and directly entered the small cave, in which he remained unmoved for the whole day. At about 11 o'clock, two men passed by the cave carrying milk for the sadhu. Half an hour later, one of them came to him with a cup of milk. He said that the sadhu in the cave had requested Ramdas to accept it. Ramdas now plays his part as artfully as Ram plays his. He refused to have the milk and asked the man to take it back to the sadhu. Thereupon the sadhu came in person with the milk cup and, approaching him, pressed him to drink. "Maharaj," Ramdas said, "excuse Ramdas. How can you expect him to receive a share of your milk, which is just what you require for yourself for the day? You may remember how you warned him when you said, 'Have you come here to share my daily drink of milk and starve me to death?'" At this straight talk, he winced and lowered his eyes, but still he pressed again. "I appeal to you," he cried. "I want you to take this milk. I have mixed ample Gangaji's water in it. For me, there is sufficiently quantity enough left. It is clear Ram wills that Ramdas should live upon water diet for some days. But since you are so insistent in the present instance, Ramdas accepts your milk on condition that he should not be offered again. And even if you do, he would not have it by any means." The sadhu excitedly said, "All right." Ramdas drank the milk. That's all, folks. Let's see in the next chapter. Thank you. Bye bye. Rama Rama Pupoda.